At one time, people used to call me the devil and say I was a monster. But through the grace of the Most High God, God saved me from myself. He saved a lot of people in the process. Allah Akbar.
Woo! How's everybody doing this afternoon? How's everybody doing? Well, it's a lot to unpack, baby. You hear me? It's a lot to unpack. So, ouch. I hate Captain Obvious. Thank you so much for becoming a member, baby. You know it means the world to me. Turn the page, Roswell. Laura, Lickety Split. Oh, C. May Jane, Miss Persevere, Lurking Brave. Oh, Bubba Glory Hole. Zena Williams, Abso-effing-lutely. Focus on Solutions, Mookie. Casey K, what's up, baby? Opal. Look at you, baby. Oh, Honest True Crime. Vampires Love, baby. What's happening? Sharon. Oh, my goodness. Kels, what's up, baby? What's up, baby? Oh, Christine, Raven Wolf, Lurking Brave. Oh, man, what we gonna do? What we gonna do with these people, baby? Woo! Texas Brat. Murder was the case. I know it's a lot of people wanting some truth. I don't know that I can help you. Well, I'm going to do my best. Zena, what's up, baby? Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Oh, man. Chica, what's up, baby? Ruby Dooby Doo. Beverly, hey, baby. Spooky Lou Who. C'est la vie. Oh, man. I'm so naughty. You want to dive into it? Let's dive into it. So, and I'll get everybody at the end. If I missed anybody, Amy G, Amy MG, thank you so much for becoming a member, baby. You know it means the world to me, queen. Let's dive into it. GG, how you doing, Miss GG? Good to see you, baby. All right, let's go. So, what we want to do is we want to start over here. Let's start here. And thank you so much for Crimes, Lines, and Lies for producing it. You want me to tell you something? I'm going to tell you something. Here we go.
Hang up and dial 911. For Central Dispatch, call 423-272-7121. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it now. For administration, press 1. For the jail, press 2. For visitation or commissary, press 3. I'm sorry, that number is not valid. Thank you for calling. Sheriff's Office.
Hi, my name is Brooks. Hold on one second. I'm sorry.
Hi.
My friend Ange is on the phone. She's from East Tennessee. It's about the Summer Wells case. I'm sure you knew that's what it's about. There's an email floating around saying that Fred Hill is no longer a suspect, and they're saying that this is from Detective Pruitt. Can that be authenticated? Because the TBI says they know nothing about him not being a suspect.
I have not heard anything to that effect. I think that's fake news.
Okay.
You think it's a fake email?
Yes.
Yeah, she's well, you know who it is. It's that woman that's kind of cuckoo that married Fred Hill.
Unless it comes.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
comes from the TBI or the sheriff's office. It has no validity.
Well, she's got an email that she's saying from Detective Pruitt to her, and she's stating those facts, but she's not showing, the from and to.
It is fake news.
Okay, thank you so much for your help.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Have a good day.
Call 423-27. Sheriff's office.
Yes, ma'am. You sent me back here to Detective Pruitt, and I think it just went right straight to voicemail. He's probably not in right now. I don't know if he's in or not. I did leave my name and the number for him to give me a call back. I just want to, there's a big internet presence about the Summer Wells case right now, and you probably heard about it, about them clearing Fred Hill. And I'm thinking, it's just a bunch of satire because they didn't show the drop-down menu because, with the detectives.
I think it's a scam.
You think it's a scam?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just got a call. Did you not say the email was a scam? Yes. Yeah, it's a scam.
Okay, thank you. See, and that's what I'm trying to tell everybody. I've worked around with Hawkins County before.
Okay, so it's a scam. Now, the title of the video, quite naturally, is motivation. Who has the motivation? I done seen enough, baby. Who has the motivation to put this together? Now, I think that when you think about that, when you think about it with any level of intellect, it's not just Ziggy or Fred that has. So you want to follow who it benefits, right? That's one of the things. Who does this benefit? Well, quite naturally, Fred first, and then Ziggy. And I think more so because there's been some private information that I've been given throughout the course of this thing that is if Ziggy were to find out Fred, now do I believe that today? Hard to say. Is that if Ziggy found out Fred was involved, that all bets are off, right? She turned him in herself. I'm starting to wonder about that now, right? It really has me wondering because she's taken on this plight and she's so immersed in it that she doesn't even see how it comes off when she does all this we, like the two of them are from France. You know what I'm saying? We. So I would say that definitely Ziggy has lost sight. I think that even though with all the jaded content, not even jaded, just the BS content that she's put out and has come out of her mouth, I still want to believe that Ziggy wants the best for Summer Wells, right? Let's just keep it real. I hate the terminology, keep it a buck. Let's keep it real, right? But you'd have to be a special kind of weirdo to not want the best for Summer Wells. Meanwhile, this is a 440 relay. At some point, Ziggy's picked up a different baton. And no longer is it necessarily just about, I think she's lost sight of Summer Wells a long time ago. This is about how to vindicate Fred. Now, what's very interesting to me, and it's a two-part deal, okay? Knowing that 6 Up, and this is no reflection, I'm not throwing shade on 6 Up. 6 Up, this stuff came out on 6 Up's channel, right? It absolutely did. I think all of us know that by now, right? Now, if we go here, I have to give 6 Up props, and I'll tell you why. Because she even made this comment right here. I can't believe I actually felt bad for you sickos. That's 6 Up giving Ziggy and Fred their flowers, so to speak, right? That's her having the human affect by saying, oh man, all of this stuff, like I actually felt bad for you. Now, that being said, there's a couple of dynamics that go with this whole email. And I was late to the party so to speak, right? So we know by looking at, let me go over here really quick. We know by looking at prior emails, right? And this is essentially telling you that, and this is off in my experience. In my experience, anytime that I've had dealings with police, attorneys, anybody in the legal field, there's going to be what's called a footer on the email, right? There's a footer on the email, and this footer is going to have Hawkins County Sheriff's Office stamp and logo. It's going to have Detective John Pruitt. It's going to have his phone number, potentially even his extension. Maybe in certain other situations, it might have a direct cell line. And then it's going to have the legal disclaimer, like this email is meant for the recipient. If you received this by error, please disregard, so on and so forth. We've all seen it. In fact, I don't have anything from the TBI or from a detective that's available to me in what I have access to right now. Now, we're going to go over here, and it's sort of going to be case in point, because what we have is we have just what I'm referring to right here. Right? This is what you would consider a footer. It's in the foot of the email. Okay. Now, when you look at, and of course, she's cut it all off conveniently, but there's going to be a header, right? In this header, it's going to say something probably like tips to TBI at tn.gov, right? It's going to have an official header. Now, the TBI auto-generated response is going to come from, well, there you go, right there. There it is. Sorry, I'm still kind of half awake and catching up to understand what it is I know about all this, right? So this has a drop down. So in my opinion, this may have been another one of Ziggy's illegitimate tips looking ass. But I think that there was generally and genuinely a tip put in here. Right now, we're going to move over here. Let me go ahead and refresh this because it said I lost the link to the audio. Right here, pardon me, I'm on the tail end of this cold. Yes, that's exactly what's going to happen in theory. Now, what's interesting about that comment is 6UP, I think with so many of us, you don't even have to have had the coverage that 6UP has had and created over the past few years about tracking Ziggy and subsequently Fred's lies, right? She is probably the end all be all of knowledge. I think Lippy has a great handle and thumb on the pulse of this whole thing. It's I can't see the chat, guys, so I'm just I'm going to muscle through this. So when we skip to the actual email, right, which comes in right around in here. Now, what's interesting about all of this is that the email, and I've not listened to any of it, and that's purposeful. It's purposeful because I understand that Karen, who will at some point also join the stream, right? Is that a truism? This email that went to Karen, allegedly from Hawkins County, and we're going to get to that. This email would have had to have been screenshotted from Karen and then passed off to Ellie so that Ellie That's one way. I guess the other way is a direct route straight from Karen screenshot right to 6UP and then moving forward, right? Now, Carrie, Detective Pruitt uses the wrong form of the word to. Yeah, of course. Right. Now, this is like the opposite of anything factual. I know a lot of you are already way ahead, but Ellie is Karen. Okay, so this is coming from the source, right? Now, what's interesting about this is that there is no drop down. Okay. Let's not for a second be confused that Hawkins County is going to auto generate such a very specific email like this. And it's not coming from a regulated sender, right? This would not be generated with a Hawkins County header like this, right? It would come from Detective John Pruitt. Okay. Now, when you think about the motivation, there could be things going on in private life that we don't know about. Potentially, maybe Karen, Ellie, and Fred have reconciled in a way, right? Now, this isn't a whoever spot it got it situation. That's not this, right? I know that the way that the internet has grabbed this and ran with it, that they definitely, it's being passed off. I don't know about the level of scrutiny here, but it's being passed off and interpreted like it's the real deal, right? Now, 6UP's presentation was, I wish they would give you the timestamp, the actual minute it was published. This was 17 hours ago, right? Now, we'll go over here. So there's a delay of about 3 hours. Now, 17 hours plus 4.5 hours of, so this is 4.5. So there is, in my opinion, the correct lapse of time in between the email and then when Ziggy grabs this and picks it up and runs with it, right? I don't know if any of you have heard this here, but so when you think about the motivation and the timing, right? The timing is very suspect, right? What it alludes to, if you read the context clues and you read between the lines, what it's trying to pass off is that whatever tip Ziggy put out at 10:56 the other morning has now led to this, right? It's led to him being officially cleared, right? I think that make no mistake that none of this is legitimate, okay? None of it is legitimate. As you hear officials, even if it's the front desk lady, she knows all about what's going on. The front desk lady can't come on here and say it's a scam or it's fraudulent if it's not. That's out of her pay grade, right? I could headspace, but I'm not. I'm not going to beat the horse because I don't feel like they're going to tell me something different than they've already told. I mean, if this were true, why wouldn't Hawkins County say, yeah, no, it's true. We've cleared him. It's a counterfeit, Ava. Yes. Now, moving over here. Ha, 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 ha. Vindication is here. Fred Hill has been ruled out as a person of interest. Now, you have to ask yourself with this email, where is the thread? Where is the email before this one? And where is the email in response to this one? Because we're missing the thread. This is just a blind shot in the dark. Why would they contact Ellie or Karen to clear them, to clear? Let's just keep it real. If they clear Fred, they clear Ziggy too. Look, she feels vindicated, right? So why would they do that? Why would they not reach out to someone that continues to reach out to them, which is Ziggy and Fred or Friggy? Why would they not reach out to them and say, hey, Fred, thanks for the tip. Thanks for wearing the wire. Thanks for following us in all these searches, all the things you said you've done. Some are BS, some are probably not. But why are they not clearing Fred to Fred? Why is that? Now, in my opinion, if you believe in the science of the polygraph, if Fred would have passed a polygraph about any of this stuff, outright passed it, then I think you'd be more apt to see a clearance. Probably not worded like this at all, right? But some level of clearance to Fred about Fred, right? They're not going to tell Karen or Ellie that he's been cleared and that all of a sudden cleared on the 13th after these tips, after this movement on the case. The case movement that we all are handling right now, some of us more graceful than others, has to do with Fred Hill's uncle. It has to do with his uncle. That would be an automatic, no, you're not cleared looking ass. Off the muscle, right off the muscle. But listen to this. Now, back to the motivation. The motivation is clear. Who benefits from this? Ellie doesn't benefit, not unless in some way. Now, let me step back. To the best of my ability and to the best of my knowledge, Ellie doesn't have a public blasted email that people control her like this. This is somebody that knows. This is a if you know situation. This isn't a, oh, anybody could email. I mean, somebody could have emailed her the exact opposite and said, hey, Fred is still very much an active suspect or person of interest, as all of them are, right? I don't think that anyone is exempt from the level of scrutiny that's going on. Now, however, I think that what you could potentially run into is a scenario where if someone's dumb enough to do this right here, they're also dumb enough to be tracked down doing it, right? Now, two other interesting scenarios is that at this point, and probably before right now, I'm not the end all be all. I'm not the higher source of information, right? I just am one that probably combs through it a little different maybe than some other creators do, right? At this point, Karen knows that this email is under scrutiny. Maybe she's busy. Maybe she doesn't know. But I'm saying that we're over halfway through a workday, and understanding that the internet would like to see, some people absolutely have to see, Six Up doesn't watch you. Yeah, I don't know. She has me blocked. I went and tried to comment last night. I don't know whatever it is that she has me blocked for, but oh well. Karen, at any point between this 17 hours ago, and right now, could have hit the drop down, right, and sent a screenshot back to Six Up with the Hawkins County Sheriff drop down in it. That has not happened, right? So I'm not here to tell you that Karen is in on it at all. I'm not here to tell you that. Hold on one second. I'm also not here to tell you that, oh, okay, well, no pressure. I'm not no weirdo. Y'all feel free to come up here and discuss it. Miss Karen, what about the drop down? What does the drop down say? Right? Now, all of us understanding that Ziggy appears to be all twirled up on life, we'll call it that. The lady doesn't rest. She don't get no sleep. None. Yeah, the 13th. Yeah. Thank you, Nicolina. Yeah, Fred Hill is cleared on the day they search his uncle's place. Hey, Chasing. Hey, Chasing.
I said, don't bring me up, man.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Sorry. I was just trying to leave a message in the background
Okay.
that saying that the email was on the 13th, which
Right.
is the same day they were searching Paul's property. And that's a little strange. So
Timing. It's like real estate. Location.
if you use the AI feature underneath the 6ups video,
Uh-huh.
it shows you, it says that some of the significance of this is that like he stopped to reply to this email.
Let's see here. So just say summarize.
Yeah, and you can ask about it. I'm reading the bottom now.
Uh-huh.
And that part stood out. I'm like, wait, maybe, well, or I mean, maybe Pruitt wasn't there. Maybe he wasn't on the search, but it did say something about that he was
Concerns about Fred's mental health.
well, that he stopped the search to come and reply to the email. But 6up is in here, so maybe she'll come in and explain more. She was saying a few things in the chat that it's not fake, and I don't know. I'm asking it now. Did the detective?
This is interesting here.
Searching?
Fred or Karen recounts numerous false accusations Fred has made against her, including murder, being a sex worker, drug addiction, and various felonies.
Yeah, there's a lot. It says, in the video, it is stated Detective Pruitt, the lead investigator for the Summer Wells case and the one who conducted a polygraph on Fred for Cotton Simpson, emailed Karen while he was at the search location. Karen confirms that she was taken aback by the email because she was sure he had a lot to handle on that day. This implies he did indeed stop what he was doing during the search to send the email.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. That's odd. But
it is. And so maybe I've missed Karen's. So I don't see Karen making this up. What do we think about the fact that Ziggy's always Johnny on the spot to defend anything? And here it is, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I mean, I don't know what maybe she's an hour ahead of me. So it's considerably lagged. Yeah, it's almost 1:30 here. So
don't they sleep until like, I don't know.
If she goes to sleep, why is there nothing? There's no, we've heard nothing. There's no response, no retort.
I think if it doesn't come from 6up, I don't know how much she watches Ernie or Brooks, but she definitely watches you, I'm sure. So she will be seeing it. And
I'm public enemy number one to her, right? Now, when you hear Ziggy say things about when she generically spreads a blanket over people on the internet, it's always someone that you can definitely tell she's talking about me.
Yeah, she's not happy with you these days.
No, why? I didn't do anything.
I don't know. I thought you guys were handling it pretty calmly, but she was very upset. She was very upset.
She was extremely extremely dismayed.
Dismayed, yeah, that too. People are asking, so the email's fake? Ziggy sent it? No. Read the email. Below is the last email you sent, meaning Karen, who is Fred's sister, that you sent to Sheriff Lawson. I'm Detective Pruitt, and the sheriff asked me to follow up with you concerning Fred Hill. Mr. Hill has been investigated extensively, and with the timeline that has been pieced together of his activities during that time period in question. Now, here's pause. We don't know for sure if the email was about Summer or Cotton or both, or I don't know. But I'm sure they're going to explain all of that because
Yeah.
here's the other part. Brooks and Ernie, when they called, they didn't insist that somebody go verify this with Detective Pruitt. I think if I'm the receptionist answering the phone, I'm just going to be like, YouTube email? Yeah, it's a scam. It's a scam. I don't know. It's a scam. I'm not going to waste time with YouTubers because it's just caused such a problem. Nobody went back and asked Detective Pruitt if he sent this email.
Well, in the one that Ernie, did you hear the one Ernie did?
Yeah.
It sounds as if she's talking to someone, you know,
I think she was talking to the other lady who answered
Could be.
Brooks' call. Maybe. I'm guessing too. This is such a mess.
It is a mess, but I like I was saying before, Miss Tracy, it feels like to me that the thing is completely is fugazi. It seems counterfeit, right?
Yeah.
Because of the drop down, right? Now, when you email me, you know what it says? It says chasing to.
Mhm.
It doesn't say Hawkins County, right? It's more specific than that. And this would definitely come from I don't know how the header reads with the .com, but it's going to say something like John.Pruitt at Hawkins
Mhm.
County Sheriff's Office.com or .org or .gov, whatever, right?
I see what you're saying. Rather than just Hawkins County. I gotcha.
Right. So that being said, it doesn't rule down anything, right? And I don't feel like if I'm just picking it apart, I don't feel like John Pruitt is going to put detective on it. I feel like he'd put DET John Pruitt, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
That's, you know what I mean? All of this just doesn't hit right.
Well, I
And
guess if they can just, post a quick
a
the
response to it.
drop-downs. Yeah, if they click where it says me up there on the top, it
Mhm.
should show like to me, Karen.Hill@gmail, whatever, and the detective's email address. It'll show it right there.
100%. And
So
it's lacking all of the traditional watermarks, if you will, for being legitimate.
yeah, it feels like a Gmail to me.
Yeah, right. And so I think that we've seen a lot of issues in the government, different places where using a personal email to do legitimate government, or well, this is government too, using a personal email to handle government business is a big no-no, right? A huge no-no.
Well, if he was on the search at that time and people are finding out, shit, they know we're searching Paul Hills, we're getting calls and emails about Fred Hill. Can you just reply to this? Maybe he just pulled it out of his pocket and used whatever the app is that he has on his phone at the time. Because it is the same day.
Right. Which that's wild. You know, what just hit me is I think that if we could find, and I'm sure we can, if you can find Detective Pruitt's email,
Mhm.
and then you just start entering it into to the recipient, like start an email to John Pruitt.
Yep.
And see what, how like when you're getting it auto response, I guarantee you there's a picture of at least a Hawkins County badge, maybe his picture, right? Like, yeah, I think that's one way that we could really verify it right off the bat. Let me see. Detective John Pruitt. See if you can find that really quick.
Sure.
Like when I'm putting your email in, your picture pops up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's one of the things that really drew me away from believing that it had any validity, was the fact that there's no profile icon of any sort. And so I think that's going to be the thing right there. If we can see, because there is one. Let's see, email. Bear with us, folks. Thank you for joining me, Miss Tracy, even though I know you didn't want to. I didn't see that.
Don't bring me up. No. Too late.
Let's see.
I hate seeing it all start again
I
where
know.
it's going to go crazy. And I just didn't want that to happen. So I'm like, well, maybe this will help that it was the same day. It could be from an app. It could, I don't know. I don't know.
And sort of my contention on this is that if this is not legitimate, which I'm there's too many things already that stand out making it as such. If it's not legitimate, then the person that was bright enough to put this together has also probably left a door open somewhere to be discovered, right? Lawson is also on the thread. Email is not fake.
Yeah, that's what she's saying. Lawson's also. See, I thought Lawson would be on the thread too because it says below is the last email you sent to Sheriff Lawson.
Mm-hmm.
So Lawson forwarded this over to Pruitt. And then, so right where it says me, all they got to do is just click that little V.
Yep, right here.
Post it. I think Ernie and Brooks calling and not being very specific about what they were talking about has caused kind of a shitstorm. I mean, Ernie was talking about money laundering. I was like, okay, I give up. Bye. I got to go. I can't do it. Not today. So if he just said, we
So
have
let me ask
email.
you 6 up. It is the drop down available to see.
Yeah.
No, it's not from Lawson, Nicole. It clearly states right here that this is I'm Detective Pruitt.
Yeah.
Right. It says right there. So the sheriff asked me to follow up with you concerning Fred Hill. I don't know. Like,
Right.
I would love to see what actually pops up when you put in Hawkins County or Detective. I just, anytime I've had dealings with them, there's something going on right here. You've got the drop down available, and I just, I'm not saying that Miss Six Up is not telling the truth at all, but where is the rest of the indicators that legitimizes it?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think is important to see. To
Have you ever emailed them at all, Benny?
No. Well, I have, but no one from Hawkins County. I've emailed, of course, to TBI, but there's no footer either, right? The footer is what's always going to be available. Has anyone else here ever emailed Detective Pruitt? Because I'm assuming, and that's one of the things that's been left out of all of this, is the fact that there's no footer on it. There would be a footer at the bottom.
Right.
It would say Hawkins County Sheriff. It would say his name, first and last. It would probably have his email address. It would have his telephone number. There's some information here, in my opinion, that's missing from the scenario. So,
yeah, I'm looking to see if I've ever seen anybody else who sent him one and what they show on it.
Yeah.
I don't see anything.
No, niece, I wouldn't either. I don't feel like I need to call for any reason. I didn't hear Ernie. I didn't hear anyone in your call. That's the thing. I just heard her. I didn't hear the response. I didn't hear anyone say, yeah, it's a scam. I don't know.
I definitely didn't hear a man say it. I think the lady turned around to the other lady and said, that's a scam, right? And she said, yes. And then that was it. You don't hear Detective Pruitt's voice.
Okay, let me see here. I think I have a directory of emails here. Let's see. Yeah, I do. This is jail administrator. Hey, Casey, can you send me just his email? Let's see here. County mayor, sheriff. There we go.
Oh, she said that's why she was calling you.
Okay. So when you just generically here, I don't want to dox everybody in my email. But when you put in Ronnie Lawson's, it's going to come up like this here. Now he also, I know that's a terrible, terrible way to do this. Is that blurry? It seems as if it's probably blurry. Let me do this.
See it, yeah.
I will put it in the,
Can you make yourself big?
yes, ma'am. I can do that actually. Okay.
Yeah, Justin, I don't think the left hand always knows what the right hand is doing, front office to what the back office is doing.
So it's going to be Hawkins County TN.gov.
Mm-hmm.
Sheriff.Lawson. So I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm on the fence. Now it does not have a profile picture or Hawkins County logo insignia on the
But you don't know what it's going to look like when he responds to you.
Right.
So,
but it does have this sort of aqua colored S for sheriff. Right. It's not just a generic, no profile situation here like we've got right here. Right. That's not popping up. So I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. I don't think it's legitimate.
I work for a company, right? So my email is my first name dot last name at thecompany.org. When I reply to somebody, it shows my email address. It doesn't just say my company name. That says Hawkins County. Let's say I work for Apple Cookies. It doesn't just say Apple Cookies. It says Tracy.blank at whatever. So I don't know. Maybe it's a different format. It's easy enough. All 6 up saying that she's going to email you. So there you go. Okay. If she emails you, she can show it, and there you go.
Hawkins County TN.gov.
And the only thing that caught me up was it happened during the search. So either he wasn't on the search or he stopped during the search to return emails. Right. Or he emailed early in the morning and the search didn't happen until the afternoon, or
so just generically not even knowing John Pruitt's email, right? I just put in john.pruitt@hawkinscountytn.gov. And this is what you get right here. Well, let me make myself big again. So I don't know, right? I did get an email. Let me check out these emails real quick because it's all chiming in right now. I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. I want to believe, and this is the thing, for Fred and Ziggy's sake, I want to believe that it's real, right? Go ahead and clear. I don't want there to be 50 people in the persons of interest basket. Let's start, but I also am so jaded, Miss Tracy, because I don't want, I don't think that everything is for the internet, right?
No, I don't either.
So
I don't think it helps because it causes this right here. Every single time.
She's sending me an email. Okay. Whenever I get the email.
She says it was sent.
Okay, I got the email. Let me.
They may have cleared, somebody already. I mean, it's been 4 years. It's a long time.
Timestamp 2022-30.
2022-30 is the timestamp from the email.
That's the subject of the email is timestamp 2230. So it says if a email with a video link and the timestamp as the subject in the email.
Okay.
Now it does appear it says sheriff.lawson@hawkinscountytm.gov.
Okay.
It does appear that is on the bottom. So yeah, I mean after this, it appears to be legitimized. And so why they wouldn't tell, there's still a lot of questions, right? A whole lot of questions. And I don't know where it goes from here.
I think they weren't asking the right questions to Hawkins County when they called.
Yeah.
It was very discombobulated. It just needed to be professionally presented.
Yeah.
We need this confirmation straight from Detective Pruitt.
Right. Now, this email was sent, her initial email, which clearly has a video of the timestamp. It was sent on the 10th of November, and then he responded on the 13th.
What time on the 13th?
The time on the 13th that information isn't available. No, it just says November 13th. The email was sent to Ronnie Lawson November 10th, 2025 at 11:01.
A reply would have a time.
Would it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't see a reply time.
Hold on.
It just says from Karen and her email address, sent Monday, November 10th, 2025, 11:01. And then this response, which was November 13th. It just says 13th. That's it.
Okay, I'm going into the email. I sent you an email.
Okay.
Congratulating you on X amount of time. I'm going in right now. Okay, wait, here's somebody that I sent an email to and got a reply right here. Who is this lady? Teresa. A lady named Teresa sent me an email November 22nd at 12:31 p.m. 2 days ago. I replied at 10:41 p.m. on November 22nd. She replied to me Sunday, November 23rd at 6:54 a.m. They all have a time.
Yep.
All of them. All.
Yep.
I mean,
I agree.
I see yours, 12:54 p.m., 12:53.
Yep.
Like,
Mine are
all right, I'm going to reply to you right now.
Okay.
This is a test. Check the time. Okay. I don't. Or maybe it's there and you're just not seeing it.
No, I don't see it. There isn't a time it was sent. It just says November 13th. Hawkins County, November 13th. Let me look at your email real quick. Yeah, it says 1:44 p.m.
Yeah. I'm asking specifically because I was trying to figure it out with the search time. Like, who the fuck is stopping a search to reply to an email? I don't know.
Yeah,
But
it says the time now that our thread is up. It tells me the time I sent to you and the time you sent to me.
of course.
Are you on an Apple product?
No. I can do it from my Apple as well. I can do it from my Apple, my Android. I'm doing it from desktop right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go in and do it from my Apple. Right.
And, the other question I guess that I have, and maybe you can help me iron it out, is it would appear, if this is all factual, that there would have had to have been something that was evidentiary based that they could look at and then gauge Fred Hill by this to say, yeah, no, we can clear him. They can't clear anybody, but they can clear Fred some kind of way. I mean, it's interesting. And of course, saying that not everything is for the internet. I don't believe the internet needs to know what the thing is, but I know that, Ziggy would like for the internet to know that, touche, but yeah, I don't know. Like the emails are still different. I can say that. Like Ernie sent me an email. It says at 12:53.
All right. I just sent you one from my Apple phone just to see how that goes. All right. 6 Up says the time is on the email. It says 11:01 a.m.
That's when she sent the email.
Oh, that's when she sent the email.
Karen, her address sent Monday, November 10th, 2025 at 11:01.
Okay.
To Sheriff Lawson, hawkinscounty.gov, timestamp 2230. At the top of said email, it's not showing anything here. There's no time here, which all my emails have a time there.
All
Of them. So, I'm not here to say, I don't know, maybe is there a setting that you could change that just gives you the date? I don't know. But none of my emails look like that. They all have a time in it. Maybe
I'm going to go into my mail app as well. So I have Gmail and I also have Microsoft Mail. So I'm just going to go in there just to see if maybe there's
Hey,
something.
6-0. We just all asking questions, love. That's all. We're just asking questions. I don't think at this point there is no dumb questions. I think that everyone's questions are legitimate.
Because it was put out here, this is what YouTube does. They all have questions, and then it turns crazy, and people call Hawkins County, and then streams pop up, and you got to try to come clarify as soon as you can. So if you can click the link, 6-up. I just came up to talk about the search part because that does not make sense to me. How anybody
would agree.
Stop a search where you've got the TBI and all of this out there to do an email.
And but we can't distract from the fact that there are things to weigh, and the things to weigh are that there is a call or two to Hawkins County. They're saying it's a scam. We've got 6-up saying that it's legitimate. So I guess until I hear differently, I have to go with what the ladies said. Now, only because it appears there could be potentially a couple of things with the email that doesn't make it look all the way right. I don't know.
Android shows only a date beside the name unless I hit the drop down. Niece said her Android. Are you on an Android, Benny, or an iPhone?
iPhone.
Let me get my Android.
Because I can even show you. I don't want to. Here, let me do it like this. Okay. So this is what it looks like on mine when 6-up, just for instance, here's the email from 6-up. 1:40 p.m. Now, she doesn't have a profile picture, neither does he. So, I don't know, but let me turn this way. Get rid of some of this glare. It's 1:40 p.m. Now, I'm not going to hit the drop down because I don't know that 6-up wants her email up there. But that's what all of mine look like, is exactly like this. So,
yeah, that's what mine look like.
Miss Skilo says that it depends on the font being used on your phone as well. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there could be a number of different things that that could dictate the way things look.
My Android has the time on it as well, so I don't know. I have no idea. I hate that they said it's a scam because then that causes all of this shit.
Yeah, it does. So is it helpful? No. In my opinion, none of this email, if it's legitimate, it's not helpful.
Well, yeah, let's, speak to that point, because what did this do except cause content for YouTubers? Yes, I understand it says that he's been ruled out as a person of interest, but in my personal opinion, this then gives them the authority to say, listen, Detective Pruitt and Lawson have completely ruled Fred out. That means it was somebody else. Let's go through the list of all the people we can discuss now.
Yeah. Nope.
And that's
that 100%.
Rough.
That's it.
I get what 6-up is saying. It's very easy. He's not a part of her story, but I don't think that's
he
going
certainly
to
wants to be, though, doesn't he? 6-up.
Yeah. That's not going to stop them from saying that they are a part of the story.
Now, also last night, this may not be a very popular approach, But last night I went on the internet. I'm not going to pull up the cases. You could do that yourself, but there are many, many, many out there. Many cases where someone was cleared by the police,
Yep.
only later to be indicted, brought to charges in prison.
That's what I said to Gavel in them. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, plenty of people have been quote unquote cleared.
And I think for the sake of the ruse of the internet, you know, I think that the detectives, they can say whatever they want. Right?
Absolutely.
They can say whatever they want. So
maybe they said it thinking, yeah, this is going to get out there. But I mean, why would they do that either? Then again, they've watched the social media play out for 4 years, just like we have.
Absolutely.
And they know nothing's private.
No, there's nothing private. No. So, and I said earlier too, I was on a phone call before this, and I said, you know, I have to give, and I said it here too. Yeah, I have to give Six Up her flowers, right, for the hunt that she's been on to try to legitimize anything Fred and Ziggy have said. That at this point she's, you know, adulting on an adult level where she could say, hey, right, like I guess Six Up could be one of the chief offenders to say this is fake, but she's actually not, right? And I don't think that the relationship between her and Karen could ever be anything that Six Up would then say, you know what, Karen's not telling the truth. This is all a lie. Mm-hmm. So I have to give Six Up her flowers there, right? However, knowing that there are hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of cases where someone was cleared as a suspect, only later to be brought in after further investigation, be brought in and then been convicted of the crime that they were initially cleared of. So
niece says, Benny, I sent you a screenshot of my Android email that came from an iPhone. And Beverly says, who's snoring? It's my French bulldog. Sorry.
Okay, so hers, well, so she has one. To me, it has the time, but the rest of them only have a date.
Okay. So that's interesting. She says, I sent you a screenshot of my Android email that came from an iPhone.
Yeah. So it's a debacle. It's a
mess. The whole thing's a mess. I hate this. I hate this for Summer. I hate this for the case. And I hate it for law enforcement because I'm sure there's 65 other people calling them.
At least.
What is this? Is it a scam? Let me talk to Detective Pruitt as if he doesn't have a job to be doing right now. You know, it's a mess. I don't know. But in any case, I'm going to hop down since I wasn't supposed to be here. Bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, Miss Amanda, this is not the airport, baby. You ain't got to announce your departure. Go ahead. So, anyways, I do want to show a little bit of this here, and you know, I think one of the things here that makes this makes it the issue that it is right now. I'll tell you what it is that you guys all heard Ziggy go on and completely lie about me the other night on Ernie's. We heard this. It was right here, right? So I think that it's very easy to question Ziggy and the validity of anything that comes out of her mouth because she's lied about CPS involvements. She built her channel on fake CPS allegations that her and Griff concocted in their private time, came on here, passed them as fact. She came on here and said that the Wells took sedatives and that the polygraphs, you know, were non-conclusive. She's came on here and lied through her teeth, right? So the fact that she's come on and lied through her teeth, wouldn't we all be fools to not take any of this with a grain of salt, right? So again, I have to give applause to Six Up because I think that Six Up being one of the people that would like nothing better than for it to be exactly what we all think it is, or all that they make it look like, right? So I do give her that 100%. I think that shows a lot of character in that. She can take this, she can sleuth it, and then go ahead and say, hey, they're not apart, right? Also reserving the right, understanding that there have been plethoras of cases where someone was cleared allegedly, and then brought in on it later on. So Tripper, I think there's some that maybe do have hate blinders on. At the same time, Ziggy hasn't given a lot of people much else to look at other than debunking. I mean, go on. It's all, she's told lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. So when something pops up that is legitimate, well, bam, right? Bam. So, I don't know. Fred has not been cleared. I looked on the TBI website, Hawkins County web. I don't know what that means. I don't understand how this can be interpreted as Fred being cleared. In Summers' case, the original email was in regards to Cotton Simpson. Right? Now, the one thing that I found very interesting was all of this. No, we're not. Only you, right? Only you're going to be shocked. I don't know. I don't know. Let me give you the name of just one right off the top that I researched. It is a old case where someone was cleared and then brought in. His name is one of them is Jeffrey McDonald, February 1970. There was, you could look that up, just put in Jeffrey McDonald, 1970. There also was an individual, Mel Ignatow, Ignatow. There's plethoras of cases. I don't have to narrow them down for you. No, it's okay. There's many cases where someone has been cleared officially or unofficially and then brought back into the scenario at the end. Has there been a lot of interference run on all this? Yeah, there's been a ton of interference. I don't think any of us can dispute that. I also, I guess, speaking to the motivation of Fred's sister, I would have to give her flowers as well, because, the stuff that Fred has said about her has just been, out of the ball field. So yeah, I think it's good now. You hear that? Put a 1 in the chat if you hear that. Now, got to give Ziggy her flowers. Right there, baby. Got to give her flowers. You understand? Got to give her flowers, because even she, hold on. Hello. Hold on. It's about this situation. Bear with me. Damn, I've been muted. I'm not going to put Six Up's email out there. I'm not going to put Karen's email out there. That's not for me to do. In fact, Karen, don't be expecting an email from me illegitimately. Like, my email is out there. If you'd like to email me, that's fine. I'm not going to poke and prod about all of this. However, on the email, what's still lacking is who is it from, right? Maybe you could just dispel all of it by hitting the drop down and showing us that it's from John Pruitt, because the way that it still looks is it's got Lawson's email on the bottom of it, but it doesn't show who it's from. It just says Detective Pruitt. So I'm still out. I'm still out for debate on it. That's what I would have to see, right? I would have to see that it was from him, and I think that that's really kind of where we're still at, is that it does not have a sender on it. So it's kind of come back full circle. It doesn't have a sender on it. It does have that the original thread that was started was between Karen and Ronnie Lawson, and it was on the 10th. So that being said, I would still have to see the drop down, and that's my opinion. Anyways, I had some stuff all kind of put together, and it's not too much more than this. Really, what it okay. Thank you, Kaz. Yep. Yep. So I would still need to see the drop down to legitimize it to me. However, it's not a scenario that I expect anyone to come running to the internet with. And I'm not calling Karen a liar. I'm not calling, Six Up is just an in between on it. So, I don't, it's a mess. It's a mess. What I had plugged in for the rest of this scenario was the reaction that Ziggy had to all of this. And actually, we can run a little bit of that. Let's run just a little bit. Also, understanding in the Bible, it says you can't give pearls to swine. She still wound it all in there. She's got Fred too interwoven into it all, right? Like, does it look good or bad for Fred? Well, only because of the mess that you've made, Ziggy, right? Like, it doesn't look good or bad, period, right? This isn't a contest, which that's what it's sort of leaned into, is you making it a contest and you trying to unvillainize Fred from the internet. Like, you could have made him look better a long time ago by keeping his dumb ass off the internet. Point blank, right? But there's just this real world issue where even though people are calling his probation officer and giving y'all hell, you say, right? The log off button is the answer to all of it, right? Get jobs, log off. Okay? Don't keep, in this scenario, Ziggy, the greasy wheel does not, the squeaky wheel does not get the grease. I mean, how much longer do you have to keep going? And now that, I don't know, I've heard a lot of stuff in the past few days about Fred not being a show pony or a sideshow or a sideshow pony. It's exactly what you've made him, right? What is Fred's relevance to any of this now that there's a billion different stories that he's told, right? There is an innumerable number of stories he's told, all that contradict each other, right? Let's all agree on that. Yes, sir. None of this doesn't absolve Fred from the lies he's told in this little girl's case. It just means at first glance, right? It just means at first glance that he's been cleared as a suspect. Also, that's not the end all be all, right? Please, anyone, go show cases where someone's been cleared by the police and then later on been brought back into it and convicted and found guilty. It happens all the time, right? All of the time. So ask Chris McDonough. Chris McDonough, he specifically knows about a case where someone was cleared, the wrong person was jailed, that person was let free, and then the person who was cleared in the beginning was brought back and ultimately convicted and incarcerated for that crime. This is a sham, right? Whether the email is real or not, it's all a sham, right? Yeah, I think that as a detective, I want every person to think they're cleared so you can see their behavior. Or you want every person still to be a part of being in that persons of interest basket, so to speak, so that you can tell if it's true or not. You know, you're looking for their behavior. You know what I mean? And let's just be honest. Fred has not given at least the internet and even his sister, right, as early as November 10th, there is an excess of things on the internet that make Fred look completely guilty. So there would have to be one thing or a group of things that would then make Fred not useful as a person's of interest, right? So, I don't know where it goes from here. And I would really, we say no pearls to pigs, yeah. I would not, I probably wouldn't change anything about the approach of anything Fred Hill and Ziggy have put on the internet, right? They think because this email has been legitimized in any sense that absolves Fred from his dirty dealings and lies all over the internet, Are we here to believe that Fred only lies on the internet and isn't lying in real life? You mean to tell me the police have weeded through all of his real life lies and found him to not be a person of interest? Is that what we're here to say? There's no way. Just that alone. I don't need an email from anybody to tell me Fred is a POS and that he has lied over and over and over, right? I've heard things like him saying, well, Summer Wells could have been in a car I towed off to the junkyard. And then I hear things like, well, he never made it to the junkyard, and then it closes at 4. And then he goes on to say, well, if you're there by 4, you can get the car off by 4:30, but they don't close until 5. Like, it just continues to morph and morph and morph. And listen, why would Fred have to lie? Why? I think we're way past understanding that Fred lies because he had a black market of wild stuff going on at his house, right? You don't have to lie about Summer Wells' case because you got caught selling dope to the police and then wearing a wire and all of these other things. No, sir. Make it make sense. It doesn't. Right? If in the end, you know, you have nothing to do with it, you either A, made a very cognizant decision to come to the internet and lie to everyone. Why? Answer that. Or you are just a pathological liar, sir, and that's the answer as to why you've told so many lies. And then Ziggy asking everyone, well, let me see. Use Fred's words against himself. Take your pick, lady. You want new proof that Fred has contradicted himself? The old proof isn't enough. We need new stuff, right? No, and a polygraph is an investigative tool. Pardon me, not a prosecutorial tool, right? And let me tell you what, man, he's been cleared. Yes, of what? Because he's been questioned in 2 different scenarios: the death of Cotton and the disappearance of Summer Wells, right? He's told Ziggy he think they found her because they're questioning him. And we've all heard Fred lie through what teeth he has left. Okay? That does not change. She stated if she ever caught him in a lie, she would leave him. Yeah. Act right. Oh, I've heard it myself. We know that is not factual and actual at all. He has sat right next to her, and he has given her the words that she says for him that we come back and find out's a lie. Fred has lied this entire time. The dog's hit inside his vehicle and still giving him tips. These are tips coming from, yeah, right? Are we just going to wake up today and remember something from 4.5 years ago that is tip worthy? Right? I also heard Ziggy say, I want to tell you guys so bad what the tip is. It's bugging me. Lady, you have zero restraint, right? You two are in the position you are now. You've made it your full-time job to struggle in life with food, utilities, because you're running around here trying to uncontradict Fred's words. Right, lady? Hey, go get you a 40-hour 9-to-5. And then you don't have to worry about that no more. And then you don't have to come on here and do your nails 5 times a week and listen to Fred. And it's the same. Nothing's going to change. Nothing is, hey, Cheesecake Mafia, what's up, baby? None of this is going to change. It's going to remain the same. And let me tell you what, it will remain the same as long as Fred and Ziggy are involved. Just because at first glance, the internet believes that this stuff is all validated and that he's not a person of interest or he's been cleared, right? Doesn't mean that they're not going to continue to come here and lie and mess up the truth. If Ziggy's mouth is moving, she's lying. Absolutely. So, again, I'm not saying this 6-upper Karen's lying. What I am saying is there is none of what I've seen is definitive proof. Let me tell you what. I could go on there. I could go on Canva right now. And that's all I'll say. I can go on Canva right now. Right? There is no drop down to show who it's from. Until there's a drop down to show where the email originated from, who sent this to Karen, I'm not a believer. I could be swayed very easily because I have no pig in the fight. I don't have a dog in the fight. If he's been cleared, he's been cleared. Great, right? Clearing Fred and all these other idiots out of the group makes it easier to narrow down on one person who I'm not naive to. I don't have a personal vendetta against Fred or Ziggy, even though Ziggy clearly has one against me. She wants to make all kind of fake false calls and threats, and fine, lady, whatever, right? I still have not seen enough. Not seen enough to convince me that this is from anywhere, right? It's a screenshot that's being passed around right now. If 6UP had the drop down, she would have sent me the drop down. I know she would have, right? All it says is that Karen has sent an email to Ronnie Lawson on the 10th. That's all it says. I mean, let's be factual and actual. She probably has a voodoo doll. There's nothing more. It just shows that there is a text thread between Ronnie Lawson. Now, I can send an email right now to KCK. On the next email, it could be to KCK, and then I could CC Crybaby Trader Security. And then now she's in the thread too. If Crybaby sends me something back, well, then it also goes to Sheriff Lawson as well, right? I got to see the drop down. Anyways, that's the whole email debacle, right? And what I find very interesting, understanding that nothing's really changed for me in the whole scheme of it. You've got Ziggy with all the Freudian slips and all the things. She's she also initially in the first 2 minutes has also questioned if this is valid, right? Almost like, okay, hold on. I got somebody that's created essentially the very thing that I'm talking about. Let's see. Okay, font size. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, no, I mean, we could dispel all of this by just taking a screenshot of the drop down, right? All of this would be over with. Theoretically, right? But then there's people out there that are just a fool with Photoshop, Canva, whatever imagery software you want to use, right? They can all do the same things. So, yeah, I got to see the drop down, right? If there's no drop down, then you have to err on the side of caution and say that the internet as a whole, and maybe I'm contradicting what I said earlier on while Tracy was here, or while 6UP was in here, or while Karen, I didn't see Karen. Show the drop down, right? I don't want to say I dare you, but just show the drop down.
Come on, baby.
That is the last piece of verification that people would have to see in order to move forward with believing this is valid or not, right? And I'm not going to go through the rigmarole of creating a duplicate email thread that would show you exactly what I'm talking about. But anyone that send 10 emails in their life, we're all adults here. We all understand that there clearly is 3 people in the thread. There's Lawson, Pruitt, face value, right? I hate I have to keep prefacing it. Face value. There's 3 people in the thread. There is Karen, there is Lawson, and there is Pruitt. So you have an initial contact between Karen and Lawson, and then Pruitt jumps in the middle, right? So if it's Pruitt, the drop down should say, something to the effect John.Pruitt at HawkinsCountyTN.gov. Or it should say Ronnie Lawson's email address, right? As if John Pruitt was on Ronnie Lawson's email, right? It'll show one or the other, right? So show us the drop down, dispel all of this, and then we'll move forward. I think you've been getting your literal cyber ass handed to you. That's what's been happening. You've been getting it handed to you, lady. Let's not act as if it's been anything different. And you still got a hard on You got a stiff one for 6UP. 6UP had no control over when the email was given to her. Have you fell and bumped your head in the past, I don't know, 96 hours? Ziggy, come on. Behind the scene. You mean in real life? That the internet, God, there we go. Remember what I said before? Anyone that describes their real life as behind the scenes, you're an idiot. You are a whole scoundrel. And I hope somewhere in this first few minutes, she says, well, I need to see the drop down too to believe this is real. No, Ziggy's going to pick it up like a fumble and run the wrong way with it. That's what she's going to do. No, no one has FAFO'd yet. There's no drop down. Ziglet. Good God, man. Anyways, I forgot I had a telehealth appointment and it just popped up right now. So, I don't know. Like, really, that's all. I may come back tonight if there isn't some further information that states that this is legitimately a clearance of Fred Hill. Godspeed, right? Great for Ziggy and Fred. Doesn't change. I think that Ziggy is under the influence that if this email is legitimate, that is going to completely absolve Fred and her from all the lies they've told for 4.5 years. KCK. Because he's been CC'd in either by Lawson. If this is face value, he's been CC'd in at some point. Or by reading the email, right? If you read the email, we're going to do this really quick. Yeah, quite naturally. Pruitt, if it's coming from your email, Karen would know it's you. So, hi, I'm I'm Detective Pruitt, and the sheriff asked me to follow up with you. We all know who you are. So this makes it sound like Pruitt is on Lawson's email. Does it not? Doesn't it make it sound like... Put a 1 in the chat if this email makes it sound like Lawson needs to introduce himself because, I don't know, his email doesn't come from Hawkins County TN.gov, or that he's jumped on. It's like if I call KCK, right, from Cheesecake Mafia's phone, then yeah, it's going to ring Cheesecake Mafia, and I got to explain, hey, this is Detective Pruitt. I'm calling from, Cheesecake Lawson's phone. He asked me to tell you this, and this. Come on now. Come on now. Okay, Jay sent me a text. Let's see here. Below is the last email you sent to Sheriff Lawson. And of course, Sheriff isn't capitalized. We can eat this. We can. Whoa. Wait a minute now. Hold the phone. Wait a minute. We seem to have a problem. Look at this email right here. Sheriff is with a capital S. Whoa? Capital S. Right here, you can see it. This is the one Ziggy's showing. However, this one is with a lowercase. Explain it to me like I'm two. Explain it to me like I'm two. How come this one has a lowercase s on it? So there's two emails, clearly. Whoa? I'm not getting this wrong. Look. There it is. Yeah. How, Carrie? This one has a lowercase s on it, on Sheriff. Hey, I don't want to be too good at this. But it appears I'm kind of good at this. Right here. That's a big S. Put that in your pipe down and smoke it. There's different versions. You think? Ooh, wow. Oh, God, Vinny Keys. You too good at this, bro. You too good at this, baby. Say, you far too good at this. Hold on 1 minute. This is going to be a very short. It's going to be a very short telehealth call. Somebody got. Heck yeah, they did, baby. Say, crimes, lines, and lies. Thank you so much for your contribution, Queen. You know it means the world to me, baby. Hold on. The plot thickens. Hold on. Let me put this on. Dang. Save. Hold on. While I'm on this telehealth, we finna get to this. It gonna take a lot. I probably should just exit out, but it's the same kind of thing everyone else would do, I guess. Lowercase s, sheriff. Thank you, Sherry Tomlinson. Thank you for being a member for 2 months, baby. You know it means the world to me. Who made the second email? Or who made the first one? Yikes. I don't actually know. Hold on. Ooh, wow. I think that completely unlegitimizes it already, don't it? Hold on. You can't make this make sense. But hey, things happen on God's time, right? I mean, things happen with perfect timing. Okay. All right. I get it now. Let me retract all of this. Somebody made this, somebody sent me this. It was somebody recreated the scenario for the time, and it was to substantiate that their time would have been, I just caught it. So it isn't an actual, I got to keep it real. It's not an actual clerical issue. It's a recreation to show how you can fake it. And I didn't catch that. So the email itself, right? The email itself is a recreation from someone. But you can recreate it to look exactly like this. So I guess having the lowercase s in sheriff shows you that they're two different ones. However, you can make it look just the same. I just caught the wrong thing before I got all, yeah, amen. So it looks identical. That's it. So it could be made to look this way. Anyways, yeah, it's a lot shaking. I just caught it before they're like, hey, this is a recreation to make it, you can recreate one to look just the same. So yeah, it could be done. Yeah, Amy. No, her whole debut was about fake CPS stuff, right? I mean, so fake. She even wanted you to believe that there's a separate test for crack cocaine and powder cocaine, right? Hold on one second. Absolutely, again. One more minute. Bye, doctor. Bye-bye. All right, I'm back. So, yeah, sorry for the glitch. I thought I had really sniffed something out. No, it is just it was just to show here. You can see it was to show that it could be recreated and look just the same, and that was done in record time. Although the time here, 2004, is overseas or it's military time. It's military time. It could be done that quickly. So I'm not a believer yet. I'm on the fence. I have to see. Do you think they was like gonna do a match? I don't know. Act right. I think that that's all. 2 minutes to recreate that. Right. 2 minutes to recreate it, and the person that's listening to it that quickly, I'm sure you can recreate it with standard time too. So yeah, no, I'm on the fence about it. Right now, although there's a whole bunch of signature stuff at the bottom, not a footer, but it has Ronnie Lawson's email in it and all of that jazz. Again, I'm not saying that Karen or anyone is lying. I just, there's one way to prove it, and that's to see the drop down. There's no two ways about it. Up until the point that I've seen it, even with Ronnie Lawson stuff at the bottom, it could be recreated. Just keeping it real. It could be recreated hands down. So I have to see the drop down. And that's really all I have to say about it. Without the drop down, I lean on the side that it's Fugazi, right? Jerry Springer, that's a really good question. Very good question. You know, I don't know why. I think that I don't want to speak to that fact, saying that because it's taken so long to get the drop down and all of that jazz, that it's a fake, right? That's not what I'm trying to do. But I think that everyone definitely has their opinion about why it looks the way it does. And I think that everyone has a valid point to that, right? Everyone has a valid point to the reason why they think that it's fake. And I would say that there's many different reasons why it looks less than legitimate, right? And I think that one of the main things is the drop down, right? I'm back to that, right? And I don't think that that's not a crazy thing to ask for. Pruitt and Lawson's information is all over the internet, so it wouldn't be anything to do the drop down. It's not like you're doxing Pruitt or, oh, thank you, sir. It's not as if you're going to be doxing Pruitt or Sheriff Lawson at all. So there's just a lot of things that go with it. And it's deeper than just surface level or face value. Also, you know, prefacing it again, that being cleared by the police, that verbiage means nothing. It could bring you back in at any point. There is a long-standing criminal justice history that shows that people that have been cleared have been brought back in and later been convicted. So true shall set you free. Yeah, it's just as easy as that. Let's just see the drop down. Like, I wouldn't even have to see the bottom stuff. I would be a believer if I just saw the drop down at the top here, right? The to me. If I just saw the drop down, done deal. I'm a believer. I don't even have to see the stuff, all the other stuff at the bottom of timestamp, Sheriff Lawson. It just is because it says below is the last email you sent to Sheriff Lawson. I'm Detective Pruitt. Listen, if I get an email from Cheesecake Mafia, I know it's Cheesecake Mafia because it's coming from her, you know, theoretically coming from her respective identifying email address, right? So he would not have to say any of this. Maybe this is just, you know, it's my opinion, right? My opinion isn't worth anything, sometimes even to me. So he's identifying himself in an email where he doesn't need to identify himself, right? It's like it's like beating a horse, right? Like, okay, yeah, we get it. You're in the thread. You have access to be in the thread. So you've either been forward or CC'd or whatever. So I need to see the drop down before I go any further with it. Anyways, that's all I have to say about this issue. That's all I have to say about that. Whoa, what is that? The email is under review. Okay. The drop down, that sounds like a good song. Heck yeah. I can see the video now. You know, Justin, I could hold on. Let me see here really quick. Let me take this. What's her name sent me. Give me just a moment. I usually like to be way more prepared than this. Sherry Thomason, thank you so much for your contribution, Queen. You know it means the world to me, baby. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let me take this here. And what we will do is screenshot that. Let's cut all this off. Cut all this off. Let's mark up. Okay. Let me mark off her name. You guys just know it came from Karen, right? Or it was from Karen to Ronnie Lawson, right? Let me make sure that's suitable markup. It's rudimentary at best. Okay. Let me just make sure. There we go. So let's go ahead and this is the whole email. It's from Karen, Monday, November 10th, 2025, 11:01, to sheriff.lawson@hawkinscountytn.gov with a timestamp to clearly to a video she's sent before, right? So all of that looks legitimate. I don't even, for me, and this is just my opinion, for me, I don't even need to see all this. I need to see the drop down up here. That's what I need to see. I need to see the drop down. So without the drop down, you know, I am not convinced. So, and I agree with that, right? Who knows what video she sent, what the timestamp is. It could be about, could be about Cotton. It could be about Summer. There is no name to Summer in it. So, thinking along those lines, we're not here arguing about if Fred's involved with Cotton's case, right? We're not here like that's a whole, not that I don't want justice if there's justice to be had for that family. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that that's no never mind to me, right? So we don't have, again, yeah, that's a very valid point. We don't have any clue what case they're referencing because, well, Fred's life has been a mess and he's involved. At some point, the police thought that they had to rule him out for being involved in 2 different cases, right? So I don't know. A differentiation on which case and the drop down. I would just be cool with the drop down, right? The search was on the 13th, wasn't it? I think the search on Van Hill was the 13th. So, yeah. Six Up says if Fred was a suspect of a capital murder of a child, they would not say. We do not want anything from him, past or future. I would agree. And I think that that's part of the issue here is that I think so many of us that care about, the finality of getting justice for Summer in whatever sense it is, I think that a lot of us can adult at a level where we understand that we'll just get that closure when it's time to get that closure. I don't need, again, I say that I would use the Michael Vaughn case as a perfect model as to what the police should do, how it should be handled, so on and so forth, right? Maybe even a little bit of that jump the gun because you've got Lucian, he's sort of on the run, right? And they had him in there. He was in jail, and was released, and then this information pops out. So, Karen's legit said she was emailing about Cotton, and this was a reply to her email in regards to that email. So what would make them say it's about Summer when Karen said she was asking about Cotton? And I guess that's the killer of all joy this afternoon. That's the killer of all joy. If they're talking about, if she's referencing Cotton and she said he's been cleared in that, then he's been cleared in Cotton's situation. And that Ziggy is completely jumping the gun, right? She wants this to be a clearance for Summer Wells. But before I go, let's listen to a little bit of this because I found it so entertaining to listen to her roll around like a pig in mess. He's a real celebrity. Hold on. No stamp at the bottom, Texas. You know what? I really hate the fact that she continues to call 6 up 666. You are the devious one of all of this. You want to call 6 up 666 because she tells the truth about you. Imagine that. Right? Like, make that make sense. You cannot. Thanks, bud. All right, let me share the screen here right quick, baby. Stop screen. Oh, what a mess. What a beautiful mess.
Together. And Lawson said, I want to take a picture with the man that is going to help me solve this case, or that has helped so much with the case. And he wanted to release it at a later date. I knew nobody would believe me, so we rarely ever mentioned it. But as much as 666 watches me and stalks me, she should have heard it. So they're sitting there, according to this email, I think the guy sounds annoyed that they keep sending shit to him. It states, below is the last email you sent to Sheriff Lawson. I'm Detective Pruitt, and the sheriff asked me to follow up with you concerning Fred Hill. Mr. Hill has been investigated extensively, and with the timeline that has been pieced together of his activities during the time period in question, he has been ruled out as a person of interest.
Wow, I don't even know if she was actually that enthused when she married the man. Holy cow. Sound like Fred was clapping them cheeks.
Thank you, Jesus. Absolute proof, guys. I told you.
Absolute proof. She's saying, Ziggy, you need your head checked. You need both sides of your head examined, Ziggy. Oh, goodness. But again, I say there's a reason why. What's the reasoning why she isn't online already gloating more? That's what we would expect from her, right? Oh, my God. You should be online gloating. You should be rubbing it in all of our faces right now, Ziggy. I want you to come rub it in my face. Please. I'm begging you.
I fucking told you.
And then tomorrow we're going to find out it was about Cotton Simpson. While I got you here, 6 up, can you definitively say that this was about Summer's case? Thank you, Kaz. Oh, yeah, I've seen that more and more and more and more. So, yeah, come rub it in my face, Ziggy. Looking ass, I dare you. So, you know, maybe it's right there slapping us all in the face from the beginning and we don't know. But, hey, Miss Bjarnason, yeah, I think I'm waiting for an answer from 6 up here. If she could be so, and he put out another call. I don't know who it is. He told me it was from a PI, and I'm going to kind of stay away from that. Like, the only thing I need to hear it from is Pruitt or Lawson. 6-0. There you go. So, in her opinion, I do believe that it, I believe that it is probably something related to Cotton Simpson as, we don't see the thread before and after. We don't know what the link to what video it is. Let me ask you one more question before I go 6-0. Do you know what video the timestamp referenced in the bottom portion of the email that you sent me? What is that timestamp to? What does that go to? That would be muy importante. There you go, T-Walk. We give pearls to Justin, not to swine. Not Kel's face. I'm going to lean with I still need to have the drop down, and that I'm would also, I guess, like to know what the link timestamp, what the link video is. We shall see. Anyways, I love all of y'all individually. You know that. We got Amy, new member. Captain Obvious, thank you for becoming a new member. Tripper, 1981, thank you for becoming a new member. Angel Eyes, thank you so much for your contribution, Queen. You know it means the world to me. Scouts, thank you for your contribution. It means the world to me. Roswell says, Benny, look at Kaz's community wall. Yep. Crime Lines and Lies, thank you for your contribution, Queen. You know it means the world to me. And Miss Shuri. I'm sorry, my eyes are getting bad. I also want to thank you for your other contribution, Miss Shuri. Thank you so much. Let's see if 6-Up has answered. I think we just got, it's a waiting game, y'all. You're welcome, Nature Lover. Sorry about the capital S, lowercase s. I really wasn't all the way. I caught it a little bit quick. So, yes. Thank you, Beach Bum. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, they're just some things I would need to see to legitimize it, And I think the main two things are the drop down and what is the link to the video 2203 or whatever it is. What does that link go to? So that I could go to this timestamp myself and find out what it is. Then that would definitely that would delegate between which video it is and whatever. Anyways, funny where they search last and both boys come out as cleared. Also, Andy, Fred's kinfolk might not even know what's on his land. Absolutely. We discussed all this in my live stream. Sorry, I'm a little busy at the moment. Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. So, yeah. Anyways, need the header and need the link to the video that the timestamp 2203 goes to. That'll tell you what case it is and who the email is from. I love all of y'all individually. Remember, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. If any of y'all can track down what video goes to that timestamp, which I believe is possible, maybe try to get that in my box. You hear me? Anyways, why do I understand this so much better than others? Glitter, I think that it doesn't spell it out. And so I think that a lot of people may be erring on the side of caution and not wanting to appoint what case it's to. Although Ziggy is, if you let her run with it, Ziggy is just addressing a clearance on anything Fred's ever done, right? So if anybody can track down what video that link of 2203 goes to, let me go ahead and give you the link or the timestamp one more time. 2230 is the timestamp link to the link. So go 2230. Let's find out what it is. I love all of y'all individually. Remember, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. My email's in the chat. Have a great day.